Hi YouTube. I'm trying this again. I'm trying a live stream from my phone. This is the second time I've tried it. I'm not very good at it. Anyway, I'm on my way to an appointment. Somebody wants to talk to me about dog training. They have a young dog and just wanted to, I guess, just kind of practice, but also talk to everybody about thanking everybody that came on the live stream with Amanda the other day. For those of you who don't know, Amanda Richer and I did a live stream together to both of our channels about how she trained her chocolate lab, Rowan, as her service dog while she was in a tent living under a bridge homeless. And my whole point with that video is to remind everybody that it's more about presence of mind and attitude and learning to be very loving and yet very firm with your dog about what you want the dog to do and not do and things like that. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I also wanted to mention that from that video, a comment was made on that video this morning from Jen, and her YouTube channel is Sundry Girl. Sundry like buying sundries, S-U-N-D-R-Y. And I was able to watch a few of her videos, and she is sort of a kindred soul. She is, I believe she lives in New Jersey. Anyway, her videos they're fun. And she is struggling to get out on the road in her van. She has a van that it hasn't been running very well, and she's looking for another van to perhaps live in. And she's just really interesting. She has a really cute Chihuahua. So if anybody has time to go look at her channel, it'd be great. And I just want to talk to you about Tom from Upstate Canine put up a video, which I haven't watched yet, about what's the best kind of dog training. And I talk about this subject a lot, but there is no one best. And a good trainer is a problem solver. And a good trainer will use a lot of different methods as appropriate for different situations. The more well-versed and the more experience a person has training all different types of dogs with different temperaments and dogs with different issues, the easier and faster the problem is going to get resolved. And one of the things that I tell people all the time is, if you're looking for a dog trainer, I don't care if you're here in the Seattle area or you're in another state or another country, if somebody is going to take money from you for the service of helping you train your dog, you want to make sure you see their dogs. You want to make sure that they themselves have really well-trained dogs, trained to a standard that hopefully is higher than what you even imagine. You can even imagine for your own dog. Because if you don't see their dogs, and people talk a great game, they're very, they're using all these college words and concepts, and they got a lot of book learning, but if they haven't been out on the ground dealing with real bad problems with dogs, then and they're just going to apply what they know from book learning or classroom learning, and they haven't really had experience working with dogs and people. That's the most important component, is the people. For me, if I could just take somebody's dog and go train it and then bring it back and give it back to them trained, that would make my job so much easier. But that's been tried. And I've worked out of and worked at kennels where they do that. They cater to one kennel I worked at down in the southeast. I won't even say the state, but They catered to very wealthy people who wanted to bring their dogs and get their dogs' problems solved and then come back and pick them up. And one dog was in that kennel for about 5 months, and he was so well trained. And we would work with him every day, every single day, and he was so well trained it got boring. I was training, it was a Doberman Pinscher, and I was training him for field trial retriever training because I got so bored with the obedience training because he had it. It was all good. Like, he respected me and he could count on me and I could count on him, and it was all good. But the owners never came to the kennel, not one time ever. They flew in their private plane to the local little airport, and the owners of the kennel went over and got the dog, and then they flew back in 5 months later, and the owners of the kennel drove the dog to the plane, and they never worked with the people. And it wasn't too long after that I left and went elsewhere, so I never got to hear about the follow-up with that. But I did see others who did try that, who brought wealthy people who brought their dogs to the kennel for training, and the dogs, we would get the dogs really do amazing things with them, and then they'd go back with their owners, and the owners, without any training or any further knowledge, would just continue to do the same things they'd been doing before, and pretty soon the dog was back to doing the same thing it had been doing. So it's so important, like Amanda and I discussed the other day, the key to having a service dog or any well-trained dog that's really in tune with you is that you have to spend a lot of time with your dog. And the more time you can spend, the better. That's not to say that if you work a regular job where you're having to go to work 5 days a week and you're having to leave your dog at home, that doesn't mean that you can't train your dog really well. But it does mean that when you get home from work, you better be really engaging with your dog. And I mean really, like, put your cell phone away. Do not jump on the computer. Spend some real good quality present in your mind, concentrating on the dog time, not 5 minutes. And it isn't even really training, it's just being present, like getting down on the floor and playing with your dog, going out and throwing things for your dog for retrieves, and interspersing that with some obedience and things like that. But if you want to send your dog off for training and you get the dog back without getting trained yourself, it most likely isn't going to work. And if you are going to spend time with a trainer who is imposing their doctrine on a dog and expecting the dog to get with their program, and when the dog doesn't get with their program, here's what a lot of them do. They just say, there's nothing else I can do. I recommend that you send the dog back to the breeder, you take the dog to the shelter, or worse. And oh my gosh, that upsets me so much. There's so many of those people running around, and they aren't going to give you your money back. So you really need to research and find out who's actually getting results with training the dogs and the people. So anyway, it was so much fun interviewing Amanda. And to those of you who made comments on the live stream comment section, I was so puzzled because I kept looking. I saw that there were people on, but I didn't see any comments, and I thought that was so strange because most of the people that I know that would have come on would have been making comments. Well, by, I don't know, 6 hours later, I watched a replay, and I was like, oh wow, people were making comments, but it wasn't showing up on my computer at the time. So I'm sure I did something wrong. I'm not the most tech-savvy person, and I'm new at this. So next time I do a live stream from my computer, I'm hoping that I can do a better job and be more interactive. And of course, while I'm driving, I'm not going to be interactive because it's hard enough. I set this before I got on the road, and now I'm going to have to turn it off. So I'm going to have to pull off the road to do that because I have no idea how to turn the live stream off. But I just wanted to say hi, Happy New Year. Oh, another thing is my computer that I use for editing videos croaked the other night. I spent hours, and it was giving me so much trouble, and I was trying to work around all these things, trying to edit a video, and finally it quit working, and it's done. It's probably I bought it used, so it's probably 8 years old, and I don't know. It had problems all along, but I sure do miss it. And so I am picking up a refurbished. Hi, Sunny girl. I just pulled over to shut off the live stream, and your note popped up. So hi, Happy New Year. Anyway, I'm just practicing, and hi, Chris. Can't read it. I don't have my glasses on, but I'm gonna shut this off now because I have to get to my appointment, and I can't do all these things at the same time. So I think I'm gonna click on the little X up here, and I'm gonna go bye-bye. But thank you so much, you guys, for coming on. I'm just practicing, just trying to, yes, I'm gonna try to do that. And I'll see you down the road. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these. All right, thank you guys so much. Bye.